you so much for making time for Citizen at 1. My name is Willis Samburu. Our top story this hour, the Judicial Service Commission is this afternoon expected to review whether the Judiciary Chief Registrar Gladys the Boss Cholet will be sent on compulsory leave, pending investigations into the procurement and construction of the Milimani law course that cost the taxpayer over 1 billion Kenya shillings. On the phone with us is Francis Gashuri to give us more details on that meeting. Francis, if you can hear me, has the Judicial Service Commission begun its meetings, and what are the issues that they will be looking at? Well, we seem to have lost a bit there with Francis Gashuri, but what we're expecting there again is that the Judicial Service Commission is set to review whether or not it will send its Chief Registrar Gladys Cholet on compulsory leave to facilitate investigations into procurement and construction of the Milimani Locus building that cost the taxpayer 1 billion shillings. Now, the Commission is set to reach a decision and also had a meeting of a crisis meeting that was held in Mombasa over the weekend. And of course, Francis Gashuri will be joining us later on with that very story. But for now, let's move on to other stories. And Kenya is seeking greater cooperation with China in a bid to secure key infrastructure development as a stepping stone to greater economic development. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is on an official state visit of China, has singled out the construction of a new standard gauge railway line and building of airports in the country by the Chinese companies as some of the key infrastructure projects that will benefit from improved relations between Kenya and China.
The president, who is in Beijing as part of a 3-week tour of Europe and China, expects his state visit to China to propel Kenya's bilateral relations with the Asian economic giant to a special partnership. A special partnership is the closest diplomatic collaboration between two countries, and only a few states usually attain this status.
China, of course, is very important to Kenya. This is one of our most important bilateral partners. As Kenyans very well know, we, as a country, have benefited greatly from Chinese investment, especially in our infrastructure.
Speaking on the sidelines of his state visit, President Kenyatta said Kenya will seek greater cooperation with China in infrastructural development, among other key projects. He singled out construction of the standard gauge railway line and building of airports as areas that will be given prominence. President Kenyatta's delegation includes cabinet secretaries of the National Treasury, Industrialization and Enterprise Development, Energy and Petroleum, and Environment dockets. Chris Wongombe, Citizen at 1.
Now, Kenyans will have to wait for 2 more years before the new currency required by the Constitution comes into circulation. Secretary to the Cabinet Francis Kimemia says the executive has already approved the symbols to appear on the currency, as well as the colors and sizes, and the new look currency will be unveiled to the public next week. Kimemia says designs will reflect Kenya's physical features and key economic activities.
Article 231 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides that the country's currency should not have portraits or images of individuals. This requires that the old notes and coins which have images of former presidents Jomo Kenyatta, Daniel Arap Moi and Mwai Kibaki should be gradually phased off, and a new currency with the country's significant symbols, physical features and economic activities introduced. The government has now embarked on a process of unveiling a new currency, which it says will be in circulation in 2015. The money will be notes of 50 shillings, 100 shillings, 200 shillings, 500 shillings, and 1,000 shillings. Speaking through his Twitter handle, Kimemia said the current notes will be withdrawn from circulation gradually as the new currency comes into circulation. Ken Dagor, Obadia, Citizen at 1.
Now, a man suspected to have defiled a 7-month-old baby has been arraigned in court in Samburu County. The man was arrested after the mother of the 7-month-old baby girl reported him at the Wamba police station after she reportedly caught him abusing the baby. The The suspect, currently at Maralal Law Courts, has since denied the charges and has been released on bond, bearing hearing next week.
At the Wamba police station, a wailing child is soothed by her mother, a mother desperate to take her child's pain away following a most horrific incident. The 7-month-old child is said to have been defiled, an incident this mother has walked for miles to come report at the nearest Wamba police station.
Tulifanya juhudi na tukaenda tukakamata suspect na sasa tuko naye ambaye tunamtayarisha kuelekea kotini.
The suspect has since been arrested and earlier today appeared before the Maralal Law Courts to answer to defilement charges. He has since been released on a 200,000 shilling bond, with his case expected to be heard next week on the 26th of August. Evelyn Wambui, Citizen at 1.
Police have averted a terror attack after discovering 2 bombs planted next to a church in Nairobi's Huruma estate. Saray OCPD Samuel Anampiu said the 2 improvised explosive devices were discovered in a trench some meters away from the Soldiers of Faith Church. Bomb experts who visited the scene say the devices could have caused huge damage had the attackers succeeded in their mission. Police believe the suspects behind the planting of the IEDs were planning a major terror attack on that church, and we will give you more details of that story as and when it develops. Now, according to the Guinness World Records, the oldest living person is from Japan at 115 years old. But here in Kenya, a granny from Nyeri claims to be older at 117, and another trails close behind at 113. Evelyn Omoy tells of celebrations in Nakuru and Nyeri for 2 women to whom age may only be but a number, but who continue to count their wealth in the number of children and grandchildren that still look up to them despite their old age.
The strength exuded by Jane Wairimo is visible as she hobbles with the help of her cane towards an awaiting crowd. But it is not her stooped back and slow pace as she walks with the help of the cane that best tells of her age, but the enthusiastic group of children that follow her animatedly, all of them her great-great-great-grandchildren. It is a big day for the Ndenge family in Lanet, Nakuru, celebrating a woman who has lived to see her 4th-generation family and is still going strong.
Ninashukuru sana, sijui niseme nini kwa sababu Mungu hata mimi ananiweka. Mimi iko na miaka 70. Kwa hivyo najua ya kwamba tunaenda pamoja na mama.
The enthusiastic way in which she feeds on her birthday cake could qualify her as having a sweet tooth if it wasn't for the fact that she has indeed grown to be a toothless granny. According to the family, Jane Wairimo, a mother of 7, turns 113 today. This ID book, issued in 1979 and which shows her year of birth as 1901, they're proof that their loved one has walked on way past the century mark. Wairimo easily communicates in her native Kikuyu and is said to still offer wise counsel.
How old are you? How old are you? 113.
To family, such innocent love would continue to keep Wairimo young, at least at heart. A similar celebration takes place in Nyeri. Here, it is Mombi Wamogo's Day, a mother of 8 children who family claims is celebrating her 117th birthday, bragging a wealth only long life can give. 45 grandchildren and more than 100 great-grandchildren. Her 65-year-old son, who has been taking care of her, tells the story of his mother, a woman who has refused to grow old enough to insist that she still does her own chores.
Right from the beginning, her health has been okay. And she has a very good appetite. She eats a lot.
The story of these two women, though not age verifiable, passing an even greater message at a time when the life expectancy of your average man and or woman is at least half their said age. 59 for your average woman and 56 for your average man, according to various statistics. Is age just but a number?
Very interesting there, that innocent boy singing "How Old Are You Are." Very interesting, and of course those are our very own Kenyan heroines. Let's reset now for you to a story we had earlier, where police averted a terror attack after discovering 2 bombs planted next to a church in Nairobi's Huruma estate. Starehe OCPD Samuel Anampiu said the 2 improvised explosive devices were discovered in a trench some meters away from the Soldiers of Faith Church. Now, bomb experts who visited the scene say the device could have caused a huge damage had the attackers succeeded in their mission. Police believe the suspects behind the planting of the IEDs are planning a major terror attack on the church.
It is a conventional bomb. This, going by the look of the physical color, it has been maybe used in the First or Second World War, but it is still alive.
They have done the analysis and they have found that it's not possible to detonate it in this area because it is a big device. It's a big explosive device.
Now, leaders from Laikipia County have been urged to engage members of the public in the process of identifying and establishing new projects in the county. Laikipia County TNA officials say such a move will ensure that there is harmony among the area residents. Now, Ben Chumba has that report for us.
Officials of the Laikipia County branch of the National Alliance Party addressed the media in Rumuruti, where they allege that the region's local leadership is not working together with the public in the planning of development projects.
The political leadership in Laikipia have not been able to unite the 3 constituencies, that Laikipia East, Laikipia West, and Laikipia North. That's not good news for the people of Laikipia.
Led by the party branch organizing secretary James Kabochi, the officials emphasized the need for the leaders to work in unity.
And I'll assure you, no particular leader can succeed alone until he works very well with all the elected leaders. So the political leadership in Laikipia should wake up, unite the 3 constituencies, remove those marginal boundaries, and people must work as one.
Hatujaridhishwa kamwe kwa sababu mambo yanafanyika hata bila kuzingatiwa ile njia iko.
The officials called on the county governor Joshua Irungu to ensure that there is equitable distribution of job opportunities among the constituencies in Laikipia County.
Na nafasi zile ziko zitolewe na zikuwe na ugawaji wa nafasi na kazi katika usawa kwa kila watu na katika jamii wote nishwe.
The official calling on leaders from the 3 constituencies, Laikipia West, Laikipia North and Laikipia East, to unite and help develop the area. Ben Chumba, Citizen at 1.
Some sad news here, where 3 people have died and several others injured in a road accident earlier this morning along the busy Narok Maimahiu Road. The accident occurred at Duka Moja Trading Center when a water tanker rammed into a matatu.
Hiyo lori kalikuwa karoli kamaji. Kameruka hiyo bump ili ameruka bump ili ashike hiyo barabara, ikafuguka bonnet ikamfunika. Sasa hakuwa anajua mahali anaelekea, nao kuna basi ilikuwa inakuja. Ndio sasa accident ikahappen hapo. Juu amekuta hizo mahali hakuweza kuicontrol, alikuwa amefunikwa. Hakuwa anaona mahali popote.
All right, time for a short break here on Citizen at 1, but when we return, we'll have more news, business, and sports with Wahiga Maura. Stay with Citizen at 1.